Hello everyone, very good evening to all of you. Welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. I'm Abhishek Singh and I welcome you all in this session, the second part of our NCERT based lecture in which we are going to discuss about the Vedic age, the people and culture. And this is the second part as I told you. In the first part, in the previous part, in the yesterday's lecture, we discussed about the prominent aspects of the people who were the Aryan people or who were exactly the people who created this Vedic culture and civilization. What was their place of origin and what were the common structural features shared by the people who belonged to Central Asian regions but they migrated to Indian subcontinent, to the Persian region and also to the Greek and Anatolia, etc. So we tried to compare their similarities with the help of the linguistics and the descriptions present in the literary evidences, for example, say Vedas or Zendavesta or in the creations of Homer, that is the Iliad and Odyssey. All right, everyone. So good evening, everybody. Good evening to all of those who have joined the session. Guys, please do share this session with your friends as well so that they can also join in. And let us continue learning today. However, if you want the PDFs of this session, in case, so you can join my Telegram channel as well. And before proceeding further, let me tell you that here we are launching a very special batch called as the P2I batch, and that will be the evening batch starting from the 22nd of July. Here you will be getting a lot of beneficial programs on the offerings which will be useful for all the students, whether it is from English medium or from the bilingual or that is from the Hindi medium. So that will be available to each and every student who wants that. Having the feature such as the comprehensive coverage of the prelims syllabus, mains syllabus, also current affairs program, textbooks, etc. will be provided. So each and everything will be there, including a very special mains residential program. So for further details, you can download our application and visit the details on that. In case you want the admission, so you can use this code ASR live for the discounted fees price, and that is the least price that you can expect from this particular level. Now, moving to the topic straight. So the identity of the Aryan people and culture, this will be continued from the yesterday's lecture. Yesterday we were talking about the migration of the people who were probably living in the Central Asian regions, and from there we saw that several cultures they were created. Particularly we saw the examples also such as the Yamnaya culture, such as the Andro-Novo culture, such as the Bactria Margiana archaeological complex. All right. Similarly, in the Anatolia also we have the evidences, the presence of the Bogozgoi inscription. All these things we had discussed in the previous class. In today's class, once again we will try to establish the identity of the Aryan people, and we will try to understand that what exactly was their belonging and whichever evidences were found, which evidences supported the outsider theory, and are there any evidences which support the otherwise, the inverse of this outsider theory, that is the radial theory. That means they originated in India and migrated outwards. Okay, so we will see that also. Now this is the area you can see here, river Ganga, Yamuna and basically Satluj river, but here Indus, you can see Indus is coming all over from this. Okay. Now Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Byas, the river of Punjab, and so many rivers or the rivulets which are originating in the Hindu Kush region, small in the length but having sufficient water supplies. Overall, if we have a look on this, geographical entity, we can have a clear understanding that most probably if the Aryan tribes might have migrated into the Indian subcontinent, most probably they would have occupied this area. This area. All right. This region which is studded with the rivers, studded with the rivulets, with the hilly areas, with the small grass plains, not very vast plains, but smaller plains. And comparatively, if we see the Punjab region has got a proper vast plain suitable for the cultivation and grazing both. However, due to the lesser rainfall as compared to the areas lying subsequently eastward and southward, due to the lesser rainfall received in the areas of Punjab, it was quite possible to support their economic practices, which were probably based upon the agriculture, based upon the cattle rearing, etc. This is what we have studied in the previous lecture. Now, in today's lecture, what are we going to study now? We are going to see a very important evidence and very big question, in fact, the question of the horse. The question of the horse. Horse, its domestication and its diffusion. Domestication and diffusion. Dear students, there has been a constant emphasis by the historians like R.S. Sharma or by the other historians particularly, starting from all the way from D.D. Koshambi and going as far as up to R.S. Sharma or even later Ranbir Chakravarti, etc. Even they all have emphasized upon the absence of the horse from the Indian subcontinent in a domesticated form at least as late as up to 1800 BC. So by that time, we can say that probably up to 1800 BC, we do not have the evidences, at least we don't have the archaeological evidences which are present and they can prove the presence of the horses in a domesticated manner in the Indian subcontinent. Now the question that comes into your mind, that is, why are horses so much important? What is the significance of the horses? So in order to solve this question, let me tell you few important and astonishing facts, in fact, which are given as per which are actually disclosed after the studies of the Vedas. So we all are aware that the Vedas are the oldest text reference to tell us about the Aryan community or Aryan group of the people, group of the communities. One thing which comes out evidentially to be correct, that is the utility of the horse. In fact, let me tell you that the civilization of the Vedic people, that was largely based upon the utilization of the horses as the primary animal for their transportation purpose, for their carriage purpose, and also for the purposes like warfare. Okay. As many as 50 different names for the horses and 30 different names for the chariots, they have been disclosed, they have been displayed in the Vedic description. Alright everyone, in the Vedic description, this many descriptive details have been given for the horses and chariots, which indicates nothing but the significant position of the horse and especially the chariot into the lives of the Aryan communities. Okay everyone. Good evening to all of those who have joined, Abhishek, Chetan, Sarvendra, Priya, Sonam, everybody else, those who have joined. Good evening. Now talking about the presence of the Ashwa and Aspa. Somebody who is a student who is well versed in Persian language, or some of you who might be well versed in the Sanskrit language, you can have the meaning of Ashwa. Ashwa means the horse. Okay, horse. Even though the horse has got several other words like Turang. Okay, Turag is also the term in Sanskrit for horse. Ghotak is also the term in Sanskrit for horse. Hayah is also the term in Sanskrit for the horses. Remember these terms. I am not teaching the Sanskrit to you. I am telling you some important words which are having the meaning similar to the horses, and they are present in the Sanskrit language. So Turag is there, okay, then Haya is there, Ghotak is there, okay, Ghotak is there, Ashwa is there, okay. Now, if you talk about Haya, particularly Haya, okay, Haya, this term in Sanskrit, if you, right, if you just, right, make it to the equi, right, equi, or make it to the, right, make it to the simply horse, okay, horse. So Haya or horse, right, horse basically, they have got some or the other connection. But more close connections, more closer connections, if you are trying to find out, you can use these two simple words, Ashwa, that is horse in Sanskrit, and Ashpa, the horse in Persian. Horse in Persian. Okay. So horse in Persian means Ashpa and Sanskrit means Ashwa. And not just that, both Rigved as well as the Zend-Avesta, both of them actually give significance to the horses. In fact, let me tell you that the maximum number of the references which are given to any particular animal in the Rig Veda, that is neither cow nor bull. Both are important for the agrarian society, both are important for the cattle rearing society, because the cow that provides them with the sources of the food, such as the milk, such as the curd, such as the clarified butter, etc. So these things are okay. Bull provides them with the survivability, with the sustainability, because it is utilized into the agricultural practices as a drought animal, as a cultivating animal, isn't it? So that might be very crucial to them. However, which animal seems to be the most crucial? That animal is horse. Okay, everybody. So we can conclude from this evidence as well that probably there was a connection between the cultural community which was residing in northern India at that time, to be known as the Vedic people in the later terms, and the cultural community which was residing in the Iranian region by the time, and probably might be known as the Zoroastrian in the upcoming time. Alright, everyone. Similarly, if we talk about the occurrences, I think I have told, the Ashwa basically horse, Go basically that means the cows, and Vrishab means the bull. Okay, as many as 175 times. 175 times, that is by far the maximum number of the occurrences of the term called Ashwa. Absence of the references of the tiger and rhinoceros. Now let me tell you one thing. Tiger and rhinoceros, why are they important? What are we actually trying to prove here? R.S. Sharma says clearly that tiger and rhinoceros, these are the animals which are predominantly present in the tropical, or at least in the lower subtropical regions which are very close to the tropical belt, because these animals require higher rainfall, comparatively dense vegetation, and also comparatively moist climate as compared to the animals like lion or animals like elephant, etc. Okay, everyone. So here the evidences of the absence of rhinoceros and tiger, etc. in the Vedic description, that emphasizes on the location of the Rig Vedic Aryan, who were describing about almost every animal, almost every river, or every geographical or the biogeographical feature of their localities, of their regions which they were acquainted of. That means that R.S. Sharma, he tells us that absence of the description about these animals also works as an evidence to prove that probably the Aryan communities, the group of the people called Aryans, they were somewhere located nearby the subtropical region, not nearby the tropical areas. Those who are unaware about this concept of the tropical and subtropical region, so let me tell you that if you have this particular surface of the earth, okay, globe, and if you see that this is the Tropic of Cancer, okay, this is the Tropic of Capricorn, and this is the equator. Now, if we see the map of India, so something like that. So here you will find, right here you will find India. All right. So the regions of Gangetic plains or the regions of the Deccan, etc., they are all lying very close to the tropics, yeah, tropical region. All right. Whereas the regions or the areas which are lying basically, right, in the above, that means in the Jammu and Kashmir region. So in that area you will find, or Punjab area that you will find, that is closer to the subtropics, which means such a climatic condition that is not suitable for the nurturing of the animals like rhinoceros or tiger, etc. Okay, everybody. So this is what he trying to prove, that the reference to these animals is absent, which means the Aryans were not aware about the comparatively tropically warm climate located in the lower plains or in the Deccan or in the Vindhya regions. Okay, everyone. Now, moving further, if we have a look on the two demands as made by the Vedic people, Praja and Pashu. So here Praja and Pashu, that basically indicates the more and more subjects. Subjects means the people who are supposed to be living under, which means for a family, for an institution like family, the Praja means more children. Because let me tell you, the basic nature of the Vedic tribes or the similar tribes as present in the Rig Veda, as present in the Zend-Avesta or Homerian epics, their common feature was that all of them considered the family as their political unit. Remember this line, family as their political unit, family as their social unit. Okay. So in the ancient Greek, in the ancient Persia and in the ancient India, during the Vedic culture, the family, also called as kul, that was regarded as one of the most essential and formative unit of the society, and the position of the head of the family, also known as the kulap, or sometimes somewhere called as a kulpati. This position was not less than the king of the particular region. So he was actually the person, the eldest male of the family was the king of the people living in that family. From here the concept of the primogeniture, basically the eldest male will be the leader, or the first child who will be the eldest one, obviously that will be the leader. Okay, so that concept is actually present not just in the ancient Vedic culture, also present in the Zend-Avesta based people, and also present in the people of Iliads and Odyssey. Okay, everybody, I hope you got the point here now. Now moving further, you can see this map once again as we have already discussed. Now remember the positions of this rivers like Volga, the rivers like Volga, or the rivers like Dnieper, the rivers like Dnieper. Okay. So if we talk about the river like Volga or the river like Dnieper, this is the area, remember, the area which is lying between the river Volga and river Dnieper. Okay, so this area, according to R.S. Sharma, this area has the earliest presence, earliest presence of the horses, modern domesticated horses. Okay. He tries to indicate one point that if we try to find out any of the earliest evidences of the presence of the horses, those all areas are somewhat either located in the upper part of the Central Asia, or they are located in the Anatolian agriculturist region, or if they are located in the Central Asia, they are most probably located closer to the Altai mountains, Altai mountain region. Basically, such places in the Central Asia or the northward or the westward of the Central Asia, which are far, far away from India. Far, far away from India. All right. So the question of the domesticated horse becomes a big trivia to solve for the people who try to support that Aryans, they were indigenous people, they were living in India forever, and they originated in India. All right. So here we have to pay attention on one point, that if we talk about Avesta, it focuses upon cattle more than the horse. In fact, even if we talk about Avesta or Odyssey, right now, both of them, they focus on the cattle, which indicates that probably they are a little bit new than the Rig Veda. Okay. However, both of them emphasize upon the chariots, which indicate that despite being a little bit new than the Veda, there was still the high significance of the horses and horse-driven chariot, which indicates their fighting, their warrior culture, which was also a common feature across the cultural spread of the so-called Aryan communities, not just in the Indian subcontinent, but also in the Persian region, also in the Greeks. All right. Now, the earliest domesticated horses are found at extensive distance from India, that is in the west Dnieper and the east Volga river, coming to the south area, Ural region and Black Sea, that is the Anatolia region obviously, they have the presence of the horses as old as ranging up to 3rd millennium BC. What is the meaning of the 3rd millennium BC? Which means older than 2000 BC. The time period which is older than 2000 BC, that means beginning of the third shift of the 1000-year time span, that is called as a millennium, right? So currently we are living in the 3rd millennia AD. 3rd millennia AD. Okay. So that means we can say that it is quite evident that horses in the domesticated form, they were almost absent from the Indian references, either in the text or in any other form. But as we say it, that history often discloses a number of new things. So when we talk about the war chariots, I would like to tell you about the recent excavations which have occurred at a place called Sinoli, in Uttar Pradesh. Okay. And the occurrence of the war chariots that has tried to change the narrative. Okay, Shweta Mishra ji, good evening. So that has tried to change the narrative that that Indians were not aware about the war chariots. The Indians did not know about how to use the wheel to make chariots. Indus Valley civilization, that only told us about making the bullock carts, not about making the lighter and faster wheels. Okay. So we have this counter argument as well. All right, everyone. However, if we talk about the literary evidences, if we talk about the pure literary evidences present in the Rig Vedic culture, okay, Shweta, so that Rig Vedic culture, it tells us about the Vajpaya Yagya. Which Yagya? Vajpaya Yagya. What was this Vajpaya? Let me tell you that Vajpaya was nothing but, it was a sacrificial ceremony. Okay, a sacrificial ceremony where an aging king, he conducted a chariot race, which was intentionally lost by other contenders, and he used to win that chariot race. And after winning that chariot race, he was asked to continue as the ruler because he is having the strength and potential to continue as a ruler because he has just won the chariot race. So guys, this chariot race concept was actually not just present in the Vedic literature, it is also present in the Greek literature or literary practices, which indicates the similarities of the cultural practices of both of them, and therefore it also indicates some intricate connections between the two distinctly located culture, one in the northern India, another one in the southern Europe. All right. Now, the evidence of the Mitanni king Dasharath. Now, this is surprising, huh? This is surprising that a king whose name was Dasharath, the pure Sanskrit name, was a Mitanni king. And those who don't understand the meaning of Mitanni, let me tell you, this region of Anatolia and the area in the southward of the Caucasus mountain, right now, this area was having the homes of the Mitannis and Hittanis, okay, Hittites and Mitannis. So basically, the Mitanni king whose name was Dasharath, this name is in Sanskrit, but the king and his inscription is found in the Mitanni culture, and the king is connected with the Mitanni culture. So that means what? Probably this evidence is enough to connect the Mitannis and the connection of the Sanskrit language that becomes common, which tells us the meaning of the Dasharath means the king having 10 different rathas. All right, everybody. So we have several such evidences as the source to prove that this language and the practitioners of this language, this culture of celebrating the chariots, of celebrating the presence of the horses, or considering the horse presence as auspicious, as the source and symbol of power, all these things were these were common across the cultural sphere of what we call as the spread of Aryan culture. Okay. India had the evidences of the wooden wheels older than 2000 BC, but most of them were built in the solid fashion. Now, this is another clear question. This is another clear sense of doubt that historians have kept upon, that Indians or the Indian people and culture, they were unaware of the spoked wheels. Let me tell you that the chariots having the spoked wheels, okay, this type of chariots are largely absent. These chariots are largely absent. The timing of the lecture is regularly on 4 p.m. Okay, 4 p.m. is the constant timing on which we conduct this lecture. All right. So this picture indicates that probably from the Caspian and Black Sea region, or from the Ural region, there was a migration of the people who were driving the horse-driven chariots, and probably they were having the warrior culture. And don't go by this picture. This picture simply tells that the presence in the Indian subcontinent. This picture is the indication of the Indian subcontinent. Okay. So the Indian subcontinent is basically, it was incurred upon by the people having this capability of driving the horse-driven chariot. All right, everyone. And if we talk about the spoke wheels, okay, so in India, we have the oldest evidence of the spoke wheels found at Haryana, this picture contains 6 different spokes, right? Since 6 spokes, and it is represented on a seal obtained from a place called Banwali in the Hisar district of Haryana. Okay, of the Hisar district of Haryana. Guys, classes schedule is basically from Monday to Saturday. Sunday I don't take the classes. It is from Monday to Saturday. All right, everyone. Now, here. So, what did you understand from here? You have understood that 6 spoke wheels, right? 6 different spokes present in one wheel. This type of design is found at Banwali. That is a place in the Hisar district of Haryana, connected with the Harappan civilization, which debunks the theory that Harappans were not aware about the spoke wheels. The first point. Second point is such wheels also appeared in the Anatolia region and the Kazakhstan, and apart from Banwali, the Harappan sites, they don't have any such more evidences where we can have the presence of the spoke wheels. Okay, we do not have that. Got it, everyone? Here, by the time of 1500 BC, the horse had become commonly present in the southern fringes of Central Asia, which means that if you look at this particular place, the countries like Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, the countries like basically the East Turkestan, or the countries such as the southern parts of Russia, etc., all of them, the Pamir region, Altai region, all these regions, they have the presence of horses by the time period of the 1500 BC, which clearly tells us that even India, in the Hindu Kush region, in the Himalayan region, in the Himalayan foothills also, is right. This might have the presence of the horses. And as far as the presence of the horses are concerned, let me tell you that this is basically the presence of the spoked wheel-like structure. Okay, a spoked wheel-like structure, and at the same time, you can have the evidence that this is showing some strange type of formation of the blocks, and this has been recovered from a place called Mehergarh, So this again raises a new question. That has R.S. Sharma described the things only upon the basis of the literary evidences? Has he or had he not the enough evidences which can also inculcate the archaeological presence of the spoked wheels? So at least one question which can be definitely considered to be asked, or at least one hypothesis which can definitely be considered to be proven wrong. That is, the Indians were not aware of the spoked wheels. If we consider this as the true, UPSC will cancel this statement. Why? Because now by the latest excavations and the evidences, it is absolutely clear that we had the idea of the spoked wheels. Even though our chariots having those spoked wheels, they were not driven by the horses. Remember it, they were not driven by the horses, they were basically driven by the animals which were looking something like a bull, because if you look at the neck region, it looks like a horse. Okay. And if you look at this thing, this is clearly an axle, and this is basically a very well formed spoked wheel. Okay, spoked wheel. And if we talk about this picture, this is a rock painting found in the Vindhya region. All right, everybody, found in the Vindhya region. It talks about the two animals which are to be identified as the antelopes, right? Antelopes, right, everyone? So probably this might not be the you can say horses. These might be the antelopes, or the very special antelope Nilgai, something like that. Okay, because if we see the Nilgai, even they have also got the similar type of the bushy long tail and the neck region that looks somewhat similar to the deer family. Okay, now the iconographical closeness to the chariot's draught animal. So below this, a hunter aims a heavy tipped arrow against an animal, right? So let us see this picture and let us have some questions in our mind. All right, everybody, because this is something very unique and this is present actually in the Vindhya region, belongs to the Chalcolithic period, definitely much older than the Vedic culture. Remember that. And this is why now the question has arisen once again, that was the knowledge of the spoke wheel completely absent in India before the arrival of the Aryan people? Now this is the question that should be lingering in your mind. किस book को follow करूं ancient history के लिए? Basically the same book that we are covering here, R.S. Sharma, is a very good book, in fact fantastic book to refer as a source of ancient history. And apart from that, if you want anything extra, if you want anything else, you can join our Prelims to interview batch, which is starting from the 22nd of July, and this batch will be an evening batch which will be giving you the courses in the English and Hindi, all three different medium, and giving you the proper coverage of the detailed description and the syllabus in everything will be covered in the prelims or in the mains level, apart from the provision of specific mains residential program that will be providing you the opportunity to stay at Delhi in the StudyIQ campus and to prepare separately for the mains examination without any extra cost. So only one time cost is there, that is rupees 29,999. Using this code ASR Live, you are going to get this particular amount. And for the PDF, etc., for the other content related exercises or for some questions, you can join my Telegram group that is given here. All right, everyone. You can also join the Telegram group by simply scanning this QR code. Even that will also give you the access to Telegram group. So guys, I hope that this session was definitely a new learning and it helped you to develop a new perspective. So if you liked this video, do not hesitate to hit the like button, and you can also share this video with your friends at the same time. Even they can also watch it for a better understanding of our proper historical context. Here we are not giving you anything fancy or anything extra. We are simply dealing in the pure classical history required for the academics as well as for the civil services purpose. All right, everyone. So thank you so much. Take care. Let's meet in the next class on Monday. Till then, bye-bye and have a great day ahead, and Jai Hind.